Hello, 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 and welcome to Live with Jesse. I don't know why I get so tickled when I say that every time.
When you figure it out, you let us know.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. We are so happy that you joined us for our series on secrets to lasting love. And we have so many secrets that we're just going to take our time and do the series because each one of these secrets, I think applying just one of these secrets would be helpful in improving the quality of um, relationship by any person in the relationship applying these secrets. When I think about relationships and I think about relationships working, I think about teamwork, I think about partnership, I think about mastermind too.
Mm-hmm.
And something beautiful happens when two people work together in harmony for a aligned purpose that supports each one of them to grow into the best version of themselves.
You just said something very important, and that was the word purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure that the overwhelming majority of couples really haven't defined what their purpose is for being together. And it's not just about, buying a house, having kids, um, making a lot of money, those kinds of things. There has to be a purpose that goes beyond all of that, where both of them can contribute to an outcome that will not only enhance their relationship but also that would enhance the quality of life for other people.
Yeah, yeah. So they're stronger individually. They're
Mm-hmm.
stronger together. Their family is stronger.
Yeah.
They're stronger in the workplace and in the community, and they're really contributing to goodwill
Right.
on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, and I think the impact is not just local within the relationship. I think the impact, the energy of the impact, you know, with many people being on purpose, uh, has a worldwide kind of impact, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of energy, you know. So, and that is the core of the secrets that we are talking about in the series, because it has elements. I mean, because relationships go through stages, relationships go through um, joyful times, goes through challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm trying to think of who I was talking to today. Oh, that's right. Saw a lot of clients today. So one thing that I remember saying to one couple I was talking to today is that our life is a classroom. And so anything that we experience, in my mind, is an up is like part of a curriculum of something to learn
Mm-hmm.
to grow into another aspect of the best version of ourselves. So we already have a lot of qualities that we are expressing in our relationships. And the good news is that we were born with so many more. And so I'm thinking, why not tap into so many more?
Right.
why,
Right.
why not make a good thing better?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons that we're excited about sharing this series with you. Actually, we're excited about sharing everything we share with you because we know how all of these different things that we're sharing with you, how they have impacted our lives. Anytime that we share with anybody that we have worked through something, it kind of surprises them because they're thinking, wow, they've been together so long, they have it all down pat. Their lives are perfect. You mean sometimes that, they have challenges? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a classroom for us too. This relationship, this marriage is a classroom for us. And I'm loving the lessons that we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that it's not just intellectual knowledge. It's information and data that we have integrated emotionally, spiritually, physically, all different levels of connection. So with that in mind, let's get started with this secret for this series for today. So we're going to be talking about secret numbers. We're calling it 6B. So really it would have been secret number 8. But what we discovered was that we gave an overview of 3 together that we want to share more detail. And the 3 that we talked about were remorse. Oh, I know what it was. So we were talking about the impact of hurt when people get into arguments and communication breaks down, and that there's 3 elements that are real important to address: remorse, making amends, and forgiveness. So last time we went into detail about remorse and how important it is to embrace that and do something about being remorseful. And so this time we're going to focus on making amends for repair. So just to give you an overview, and I know like so far we've covered like 7 of the secrets. So I'm just going to run through them really quickly, because as we go through the secrets, since we have so many, at the beginning of each session, see, I'm still talking like I'm in a counseling session, that we're not going to give like the entire list. So maybe we'll do like 7 at a time. No, after we do the next one, then we'll just start over with number 9 or number 10, whatever it is. So far, we're talking about the story and the experience of James and Marion, a couple that's been married for a very, very long time. They love each other and they get stuck in arguing about the same thing over and over again. And so that's where they get stuck. Now, they are empty nesters. And so they're looking forward to their golden years. And so they have they're still working a lot of hours, but they have, since they're not doing parenting anymore, then there's more time for the 2 of them, but they keep getting stuck. So far, we have described their experience, we've described their struggle, and then we began to describe what they did to turn things around. Because here's the thing, our brains are wired to focus on functioning a certain way. And so it's like we operate in a tunnel because we only have one way to see what's going on in our relationships and in life, in the way that we process it. And so when you have 2 people who are wired differently, who love each other and are in relationship, when everything is going well, it's not a problem. But when there's a challenge, they get all tripped up. And so what we want to share with you this time, I'm not going to go through all 7, but our main point is what we want to share with you is that even though that is normal, it doesn't have to be the norm, because if it becomes the norm, then the relationship is in trouble. And so even though James and Marion have a wonderful relationship in other areas, they have so many good things going on for them, this is one place that they get stuck. This is where the classroom lesson is for them. And so they have embraced this lesson for their own healing, because they hurt each other the way that they argue, and for their growth. So all of these steps that we're talking about now, they're about growth. So this is secret number 6B. I wish we had another way to number this. And that is called be a change agent. That means making amends. And you'll probably notice that when we share a secret, we start off the secret with the word be, because we believe that change happens, that transformation happens when people are aware of how they're showing up in the relationship. People want love, they want connection and what have you. And so what we know works is the be, do, have principle. If you want to have a more fulfilling relationship, then you have to be more of the change that you want to see. So that's why when you hear each one of those secrets, you're going to hear, we call them be attitudes. So if you break it down, be, it stands for behavior that's in alignment with a certain attitude about how to show up as your best self. So it's ABC. Oh, no, it's not BAC, but excuse me, that um, anytime anybody is applying any of these principles, um, that they are developing or honing certain characteristics that are part of being the best version of yourself. Okay, so we're going to talk about being a change agent and making amends.
You want some water?
Um, I think I'll be okay. Thanks
All
for
right.
asking.
Okay. Sure.
So let's talk about a little bit about what amends are. You know, many times people will say, I'm so sorry. They know that they hurt someone they love, and they'll say that they're sorry, and really they are. And we talked about that a little bit last time in terms of being remorseful. But here's the thing, saying I'm sorry is not enough. Being remorseful is like the first step. So, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And so, being a change agent is about making amends for the hurt that resulted from maximizing behavior, meaning attacking with words, or minimizing, shutting down when times get tough. I mean, damage is done when that happens. And so when you talk about changing behavior to make amends, there's I'm trying to think of, I think I have them on here. Yeah, 3 people who did the research. They said it requires 3 things. So 2 are internal and 1 is external. The internal is motivation and capability. So it's important to be motivated to make the change. Because if you don't have the motivation to change, you're not going to change anything. So if you have the motivation, you, you have to also have the skill set. You have to be capable. So you have to know what to do to make a change that has a positive impact, that has a problem solving impact. And then the third part is external. And that is you have the opportunity to implement the behavior that's going to make a difference. James and Marian have the opportunity to make the change, and they're both motivated to do that. And that's a good thing.
You know, one of the things I'd like to add to what you say, by the way, I agree with everything you said so far. But one of the things that's essential in this whole process is that both people in relationship have to um, ask themselves the question, how am I? What is my behavior doing? Uh, what am I doing that is contributing to this breakdown in our communication and in our relationship?
Mhm.
But that's so unusual because most people look at their partner as being the person who is responsible for the breakdown and unwilling to take a look at themselves and ask themselves, what can I do to make a difference here? And when you do that, it gives you a wonderful opportunity for personal growth and also an enhancement in your relationship.
Yes, absolutely. And it requires part of this amends process and changing the correct behavior that's going to make a difference is based on something that we talk about in our workshops. This is an Imago thing. And you guys will hear us talk about Imago. It is a relationship theory and therapy that we do. Oh, so one of the things that we talk about in making amends, even though we use it in another context when we do our workshops, is that the person who's making amends needs to make sure that they are doing the behavior that the other person needs to experience. So many people get caught up in the golden rule. The golden rule, do unto others as you would like to be done unto. Well, if you do unto your partner something that you think will be healing for them, and they need something else for healing, then the golden rule is not going to work for you. That's why the platinum rule is so important, to do unto others as they need to be done unto. So it's really important for James and Marion and others to know what the partner needs for the healing. You know, what kind of words, what kind of behaviors that they need to see and experience and feel consistently, because change comes with consistency. Trust is built with consistency. And so James, and it looks like I have a typo on the slide. So James, for him, it means coming out of his shell and being present for Marion, because that's what she needs for healing. The more that he does that behavior change, the more it's going to have a healing impact on her. And since that's a stretch for him in that classroom of that situation, he is going to grow in an important characteristic within him that wanted to grow but didn't know how. But now he knows how. For Marion, it means managing her emotions, because when she gets triggered, she's just all over the place. And so that's what James needs, because when she gets upset, you know, her tone of voice raises and, you know, he feels attacked. So she's got to calm it down on the inside so that she can get really clear about what it is that she needs. They're both reaching out to each other. Well, he's not reaching out because he goes in the shell. But so the way that they were doing it before has not worked for them at all. So in doing that, both of them are taking responsibility for the damage that they inflicted during the communication experience, the communication breakdown during conflict. So the behavior part is one part. So that's part two of the Beatitudes. The first part is how they think about it. They have to have a mindset change and think about it differently. And so when we think about the relationship journey and we think about the partnership, then instead of both of them having the mindset of when things get stressful between the two of us and when there's a misunderstanding, that just because we experience something differently, that we're enemies, that mindset has to change to let's go into the classroom and figure out what this situation is trying to teach us. And let's do that in partnership. So that's the mindset that is going to be important to tap into and to shift into. And then again, to be consistent, going into that classroom, and part of going into that classroom is going in within and being reflective and just think through what just got triggered in me. What is it that I'm reliving right now, and peeling away the layers until getting to the point where you're saying, oh, this is what I needed in that situation, and then ask for it. So why is this important? So one of the reasons why it's important is because a stiff apology is a second insult. The injured party does not want to be compensated because they have been wronged. They want to be healed because they have been hurt. And that's from Gilbert Chesterton, Gilbert K. Chesterton. We agree with him 100%. 100%. And so that's why this step is so important. And that's why it's part of a three-prong healing process for James and Marion, for us, for others as well. Okay, so it's your turn. Are there amends that you need to make from minimizing like James or maximizing like Marion? You know, when they're in conflict, James shuts down. What does John Gottman call it? He calls it stonewalling. And because Marion calls it, she senses a coldness and a distance. That's what he does to protect himself. Are there times that you do that? And if you do, just know, yes, that's protecting you from feeling the discomfort, but it's also inflicting pain on the other person. Are there times that you get so anxious about not being able to turn things around and to restore that connected, that sometimes you cling and you pursue, and sometimes you raise your voice because you want your partner to hear you because they're just not getting it, that all you want is to connect. So do you do that sometimes? Because if you do, you're inflicting pain on your partner. So thank goodness there's something that you can do about it. And just know that your brain is wired to do that, and you can do something different and rewire your brain. So go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, and this is a suggestion from us to you, and that is, anytime that you find yourself um, in a conflict with your partner, you might want to replay this part of the programs that we've been presenting to you so that you can begin to take a look at yourself and being able to figure out, now, what is it I need to do differently so that I can establish a reconnection with my partner. Because when we're upset with the other, we have a tendency of withdrawing. For some people will do that, and other people will maximize, meaning that they will just go off and off and off, and they know they don't get anywhere, but they do it anyway because they know what else to do.
Yeah. So what do I need to do in this moment? I'm triggered. I'm flooded with all these emotions. What do I need to do to take care of myself so that I can show up in a way that invites repair and to restore the connection? And then how do I apply the platinum rule? The only way to do that is to find out what your partner needs and to ask, and then to take action. So if you would like support in getting started in this process, then we invite you to schedule an appointment for a complimentary telephone consultation with both of us. Oh, thank you, Brian. And the link is in the chat. All you have to do is to click on the link, the calendar comes up, you pick the time that we have the days on there that we're available and the times. Pick a time that works for you, fill out the short form, we'll get the information and we'll be ready to go. So in the meantime, we want to wish you well in, thinking through these ideas that we're presenting to you. And again, we want you to know that these are tools and strategies that we use for ourselves that we're happy to share with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for Live with Jesse and Melva. And we're looking forward to connecting with you next time for secret number 6C. We're going to talk about forgiveness. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
watch Live with Jesse and Melva right here on Solivity TV every Sunday at 5:30 Eastern.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to become your best self now? I mean, like right now. If you're ready to become your best self, then why don't you join me and Solivity Magazine as we present the New Year, New You celebration along with our very special partner, Beyond Words Publishing. It's going to be Saturday, December 12th, starting at 1 p.m. Now, guys, the best part is you'll be able to watch all of this and enjoy it all from the comfort of your own home. I mean, you'll be able to watch all of these amazing people share their gifts and thoughts about how to close out this year and begin the next year with light, love, and power. I mean, how cool is that? And you're going to be able to walk into 2021 with freshness and some spirit and, of course, inspiration. You do not want to miss this incredible event. We'll see you then.